Hey guys, Dale here, and welcome to Star Trek Online. I'm going to be starting a new series here, actually, kind of like re recording some things because I realized that my mic was having some issues. So I've gone ahead and swap that out, and we're just going to recreate our new character and play a fresh start story. So we're going to be playing as Starfleet. It looks like there's a lot of different factions here. Starfleet and the Klingon Defense Force are the two main factions. Discovery Starfleet and TOS Starfleet are characters that start off in an earlier era and then join the 25th century. So the Star Trek Online story starts in 2409. And then the Romulan Republic and the Dominion are sub-factions that are able to kind of ally with either Starfleet or the KDF and join those forces eventually. So we're going to go ahead and start a Starfleet officer. I'm going to pick a join trail. So if you look over here, it kind of tells you a little bit about the species. So join trails are humanoid species native to the planet Trill. Trill are characterized by two rows of spots that descend down each side of their bodies from forehead to toe. So we can kind of see some of that spotting here. A small number of Trill are joined with a symbiotic life form. You are one of the chosen few. So for a little bit of lore about the Trill, they share a planet with a symbiote, is what they kind of call those species. I think there's some beta lore that gives them a name, like the Makri or something like that. Joined Trill have personalities that are a synthesis of the host and symbiote, and to some extent, the memories and personalities of all previous hosts of the symbiote. The Joined Trill has access to the skills and memories of all the previous hosts. So each of these species comes with their own trait. You can actually choose alien and completely customize a species and select a trait for them, but it's not too significant. So Starfleet, join Trill, and we're actually going to choose to be a science officer. So engineering officers, they have some abilities in ground-based combat to lay down turrets, put up shields. Science officers can do buffing and debuffing, healing. Everyone can kind of I guess do their own healing. And then tactical officers are more focused on actually just doing damage. So engineering officers may be a little bit more focused on support and tanking, but any of these can really fulfill any role. And then also the type of ship for ship-based combat can also impact kind of how you play the game and whether you're really focused on doing upfront damage, if you're focused on doing buffing, debuffing, or exotic damage, or doing support or tanking. So we'll go science, and let's just customize our character real quick. I usually go for a little bit more of an Asian or Latino face. I'm half Filipino, so that's a character that reminds me of myself a little bit. Head, let's go ahead and choose hair. Eyebrows, I usually choose medium. And I'm going to turn the game volume down a little bit for myself. And a little bit for you guys. Okay. So host, a few different options for spots. I like these. They're very obvious. I think we can ramp up the intensity. And then just a few color options. I think darker is more interesting. Trill head type. Maybe that. Eyebrows, let's go dark colors. And hair color, let's do the same. Hair, I was where is the hair option? Let's see. So very Vulcan looking haircuts. We're gonna choose this one, and then let's go back to advanced. Eye spacing. What is this? Okay, let's bring those right there. Let's make the eyes a little bit bigger. Nose nose. I feel like the nostrils are really small. Cool. Bridge width, maybe a little smaller. Bridge protrusion down a little bit. Cool. And then something funky is going on with the mouth. So let's do a little less mouth. Let's change the corner position so that it's a little bit more friendly. And jaw width is pretty extreme. Little pointy. Is there an option for like cheek size? Okay. And cheekbones. And then I feel like the skin color is not quite it. Let's do that, and I think that looks pretty good. Body, let's make the belly a little less poochy. Let's give him a little more junk in the trunk. Hip size, maybe a little smaller. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, so we're going to call him Captain Arun, and we'll call him Dubs. Name him after me a little bit. Arun. And it doesn't really matter what the name of the first ship is. Like, we'll default have, like, a level 1 entry-level ship. We'll hit just, like, randomize a couple times. Arrow. We'll hit engage. But we're not really going to play that first ship. The reason that I've come back to the game is actually they recently released an updated version of one of my favorite ships from Star Trek. So we're going to grab that ship immediately. And let's skip the tutorial. Okay, so here we are. We are at Starfleet headquarters in San Francisco. Shuttles in the sky, Golden Gate Bridge in the background. And it's telling us to go talk to Commandant Harthel at Starfleet Academy. So we do have like a little arrow, Starfleet looking arrow up there. And we'll go ahead and run in. And the way that we're going to play this game is, if you look here, a lot of the story content is actually called episodes. The missions are called episodes, and it's divided up into a bunch of different seasons. So we're just going to play through all the seasons, do all the story content. Because if you're into Star Trek like I am, like this game actually does have some pretty good storylines. And that's one of the reasons that I come back to it whenever there's new content around. So it's been a while since I played through the beginning stories. So this is kind of exciting. It's kind of like rewatching a season or seasons of any old Star Trek episode for me. Okay, so Commandant Harthel. Cadet Arun, I've received new orders for you. Your academy training is complete, and you are to report to Admiral Quinn on Earth's space dock immediately. I'm sure you know that the war has been difficult for Starfleet. We need as many officers in the field as we can get, and I've recommended to the Admiral that you be considered for command. I know you'll do well. Okay. Before you go, you'll need to gather some equipment. I want you to be ready for whatever mission the Admiral has for you. So some of the content is just text only, but a lot of the content is voice acted, like the main characters do a lot of voice acting. When you're interacting with your officers, they do a lot of just like text, so I'll try not to trip over my words while I'm reading as much as possible. Open equipment locker. Okay, so we get some experience and we're going to get some gear.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
And the voice of Leonard Nimoy telling us congratulations. He'll congratulate us every time we kind of like hit a level stone level. So we've gone from lieutenant to level 1, cadet to lieutenant as level 1. And it's telling us that we should pick a crew. So during the tutorial experience, we would encounter some crew members more naturally as part of the story, but since we skipped the tutorial, they're just going to give us an initial crew right away. So here it is. We're getting Elise Flores, who I think is voice acted during the tutorial, so she's named and we can't customize her. We get Koles, Tavrel, and Zarva.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Klingon front. But first, you could use some new equipment for your ship. I have some improved consoles developed by the Starfleet Corps of Engineers. These consoles can be installed on your ship to improve its abilities. As you improve in rank, you will earn better consoles. Other ships you will command throughout your career will have space for many more. When you're done here, go see Dur's racks to customize your starship's appearance.
Okay, we'll hit continue, and it looks like you're ready to go, Arun. I'm looking forward to hearing about your accomplishments. I know you'll do the Academy proud. Good luck. Okay, so now it's going to ask us if we want to beam up to Earth space dock, so let's go ahead and go. So I didn't check what we got from that equipment locker. As soon as we get to Earth space dock, I'll open my bag and let's take a look. So here are the consoles that we got from Admiral Quinn. And here's some initial equipment that we got from that weapons locker. So let's go ahead and equip the better weapon. Let's give Elise Flores, who's a tactical officer, a better weapon. And we'll put some armor on ourselves and on Elise. What is this? Oh, science kit for myself. So this gives me a new ability. It is medical tricorder. It's a heal, removes all exposed effects, and plus 20 all damage resistant rating for 4 seconds. So typically, like during the tutorial experience, we'd come into the Admiral's office and we'd talk to him, but he lists all the missions he has available, and so it can be a little bit of a jumble to try and get through the missions in order. So we're just going to use the journal up here, and we will hail our first mission, Diplomatic Orders.
We have a diplomatic mission for you. An important Vulcan ambassador is traveling from his homeworld to the monastery at Pajen. Capturing the ambassador would be a major coup for the Klingons or Orions, so we're assigning you to make sure everything goes smoothly. You are to escort Ambassador Soket to Pajen. Please meet him at Vulcan. Once you locate him, speak with him about the transport mission. Do whatever is necessary to keep him safe.
Okay, and then it shows us what we'll get. So we'll get some experience, expertise, a data recorder, and some ship equipment. We're going to go ahead and hit accept to that. And then we're going to do a couple things before we head out. So there's a little tailor shop here. And so we can customize our uniform. We can even like recustomize our character appearance if there's something that we end up not liking. Down here is the shipyard. And we can kind of like see some ships docked inside of Earth space dock. But here is where we go to select new ships. We can customize the appearance of those ships. We can decide which of our ships that we want to have like in service. And it looks like there's just like a console vendor over there. So we are going to buy the ship that I'm like super excited about. That being said, as you level through the game, you do get a selection of a free ship every 10 levels. So this is a free-to-play game, but just like lots of free-to-play games, there are tons of ways to spend real-life money or to grind for in-game currency, and there's a few different currencies. So let's take a look at some of that real quick. If we look at assets, energy credits are just like the baseline in-game currency. You get them from anything, selling things, missions, all kinds of stuff. We have reputation marks that are used kind of as a currency to fulfill like little reputation projects to increase your status with certain reputations so that you can get exclusive gear from them. Fleet is associated to kind of like it's the in-game guild or clan system, and they have like their own shops at their like fleet space stations that they can use to acquire consoles or even upgraded versions of ships. Dilithium is a like time-gated in-game currency that you can like acquire and refine for exclusive things from a store, or you can actually exchange it as well for the real money currency in the game, which is Zen. So this is like the Zen store. This is where you would go to like purchase things that are exclusively available with like basically cash. And so I just want to give you guys a heads up that like every 10 levels throughout the leveling process, every time your rank changes all the way up to captain, so lieutenant to lieutenant commander to commander to captain. You get an option between a science ship, a tactical ship, and a engineering ship for free. This whole game can be enjoyed for free, but if you do want to spend money, there are different currencies and ways to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and claim the ship that I bought. It is a Tier 6 ship. It is the Equinox Pilot Scout ship, and it says that it's a Tier 6 ship, which for a long time in the game, you had to be like max level in order to fly a Tier 6 ship, but now they let you level up with your Tier 6 ships. So they scale them down and more things become available with them as you level. We're going to name this the USS Kepler, after the telescope, which is named after an astronomer, so I guess maybe after the astronomer as well. It's a pilot scout ship, so it's a bit smaller. Like, it is smaller than Voyager. It was like about half the size of the USS Voyager. I think something like 200 meters long or something like that. A crew of maybe around 100, maybe less. And then now that we've acquired that ship, we are going to manage our ships, and we're going to switch away from the Kepler, and we're going to switch away from the Arrow and ready the Starship. So the other thing that I'm going to do is I've been looking for an excuse in game to wear like the pilot outfit. So I'm going to go customize an outfit for myself and my bridge officers, and I'll bring you back when I'm done with that. Okay, and we're back. So this is the pilot uniform that's available in game. It is it's the pilot uniform that Tom Paris wore in an episode of Voyager. He and Bolano were in a race with the Delta Flyer and some other aliens. So I've always thought that it was like pretty cool, and so I've kind of edited it to be a little dark around the outside, a little light on the inside, and then career color on the stripes. So I went ahead and modified my crew members as well. So we gave Elise a new haircut, Coles just the new outfit, Tavrel we also gave a haircut in the new outfit, and Zarva here is rocking our pilot uniform. We're going to hit this button right here, and it will take us to the mission right away. So beaming up to the ship, and in 2409 we do have some like limited transwarp capability.
To secure peace with the Klingons. I bear the responsibility for the consequences to him and his crew. A thought that troubles me to this day. The hope was that this alliance would last forever. It did not. The Klingons have chosen war. The Federation is doing its utmost to protect its borders and the billions of innocents who call this space home. But I fear that this conflict may be our undoing.
So there's Leonard Nimoy, or Spock again, giving us a little like contextual history about the sector that we've wandered into. So we are in sector space now. So here's a map of the Beta Quadrant. Cancel. If we go to the galaxy map, we can see we are in basically the sector that Earth is in. Pajem and Vulcan's down here. I think the Andorians are somewhere around here as well, but Alpha Quadrant we do have access to. We have access to some of the Gamma Quadrant and a small sliver of the Beta or the Delta Quadrant. I'm gonna rearrange my HUD a little bit. So if we go to rearrange HUD, I like to move my bridge officer abilities over here, and this is my ship ability. And if we take a look here, we are in the Kepler. Cool. So we're going to set our phasers to auto fire, just right clicking them there, and then we will leave our torpedo for us to kind of manage for now. And let's enter the Vulcan system. Captain, we have arrived at the Vulcan system. I took the liberty of contacting the ambassador's aide when we arrived. Tapella says the ambassador has certain arrangements that he prefers when traveling. She would like to go over them with you. Would you like me to put her on the main view screen? On screen.
Greetings. Thank you for agreeing to escort the ambassador to Pajem. Ambassador Soketh is currently attending a ritual to honor the end of the Kalrek holiday. He will be done soon. but the ambassador is hesitant to use transporter technology. His bias against the transporters is not logical, but I have come to accept it.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
I believe that Soket would be much more comfortable traveling by shuttlecraft. I have received clearance for you to land near the ambassador's location. I look forward to meeting you in person.
Okay, let's board our shuttle and head down. We're ready to land on Vulcan, sir. When are you ready? When you're ready to make our final approach, let me know. Okay. Let's land the shuttle.
Starfleet shuttlecraft. This is Vulcan Orbital Control. You are cleared to land at the requested coordinates. Welcome to Vulcan. Please enjoy your stay.
It's very, more than warm for Vulcan to be telling us to enjoy our stay. Okay, Captain, the ambassador and his aides are waiting for you at the temple at the top of this rise. You can speak to them there and find out if the ambassador needs anything else from us before we depart Pajem. Okay, thanks, Tavrel. Ambassador Soket's aide, Tapella, has requested you meet her before speaking with the ambassador. Okay. There is Tapella. Welcome to Vulcan.
Captain, I regret to inform you that we have come to an impasse in completing your mission. Allow me to explain. As you know, Pajem is sacred to the Vulcan people, and access to it is strictly prohibited. Ordinarily, this would not present any difficulty, but Savin, the leader of the order that maintains the monastery, has chosen this moment to illogically refuse to grant Ambassador Soka permissions to meet with the abbot at Pajem. This is most abnormal.
Can this trip wait until Savin changes his mind?
The ambassador has considered going to the council to request that they overrule Savin, but the process will take time that he simply does not have. If the ambassador is unable to complete his journey to Pajem now, he will have to delay it until after the trade conference at Coridan is complete, and that could take weeks.
I wonder why Savin won't grant the ambassador permission.
The ambassador, I'm afraid, has spent too much time off-world. I have seen it change him. His interactions with other species have grown easier over the years, but our own people have become more challenging for him to deal with. Perhaps you could speak to Savin. I know he has a great deal of respect for Starfleet, and you might have an easier time than he has in convincing him to grant the ambassador's request.
Let me speak to Savin then.
Peace and long life. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? Sarketh accuses me of abandoning logic, but he is the one refusing to explain his reasons for wanting to go to Pajem. The planet is sacred. Our ancestors walked those paths. They found understanding and serenity in its quiet. When I am at Pajem, I feel more at peace than any place else in the galaxy. Pajem has been touched by outside influences in the past. The Federation is at war. Now more than any other time, we must protect this refuge. Do you seek knowledge?
Okay. Is there any way I can persuade you to allow Soketh to visit Pajem?
I will permit it if you will pledge to me, on your honor as a Starfleet officer, that you will protect Pajem from harm. Soketh says his reasons for wanting to speak to the abbot are private. I will accept that, but only if you are with him. I know I can trust Starfleet. Please, protect Pajem from any who would violate its sanctity.
Will do.
Welcome to Vulcan. Do you have any questions?
I've spoken to Savin. We can leave for Pajem now.
Excellent. Our departure has been delayed long enough by the whims of one man. I am prepared for the journey and can leave immediately.
Let's go. Very, very strange. Vulcans not trusting each other and trusting an outsider. I should probably like equip our ship with some of this stuff before we go. So let's do that. And another phaser bank. Oh, we don't have a place to stick that. Some batteries. A deflector dish. And torpedoes. Impulse engines. Shield emitters. Okay, cool. And we'll board the shuttle.
Starfleet shuttlecraft, we have logged your flight trajectory, and you are clear for departure. Live long and prosper.
Return to the bridge, and I guess let's depart the system. Ambassador Soketh has retired to his quarters, Captain. We can leave the system whenever you like. Okay, let's go.
Your inventory has a replicator that...
Okay, so we can transwarp or we can auto-navigate. So auto-navigate just sets a course and gets us going. Pajem's in the same system, so we don't need to like transwarp there. We're literally just like going 1 star over. Okay, and we're beginning diplomatic orders. Sir, I'm picking up unusual energy readings in the system. We should scan the system before we take the ambassador to the surface. Agreed. Sensors on maximum. And then, actually, let me do this. Rearrange HUD. This ship has, like, a special ability and status screen. Pilot ships have the ability to kind of, like, jump forward, to the side, or backwards. So if I, like, press forward twice, it automatically does it without me having to use those controls. So scan energy pattern. Klingon ships decloaking, sir. Okay, so I guess like a fight right away. We do have the ability as a science ship to target weapon systems, so we're going to do that. Shields. Okay.
My fellow captains were blinded by our vengeance toward the shapeshifter aboard your vessel. They have died with honor. But if I am to die this day, then I would prefer to regale the halls of Stobalcor with the tale of that foul creature's death.
There's a shapeshifter aboard my ship.
Ha! So even the mighty Federation has been fooled by the beast. Your guest from Vulcan is not as he or she seems, Captain. They are an Undine. They put on a false face and try to control us, but we Klingons know better. We will hunt them down until the last of these honorless dogs dies screaming.
So, an Undine, I've been talking about Star Trek Voyager a lot this episode. Undine, our species 8472 is the Borg designation. And Undine, have you any proof?
Proof? Ah! Allow me to stick a blade in its belly while I look it in the eye while it dies. That should be proof enough, even for Starfleet.
I'll take that into consideration.
If you wish the honor my death with eyes wide open and victory in my heart. I await your decision. Close hailing frequencies.
Captain, sensor scans indicate the Klingon vessel's warp drive, shields, and weapon systems are all offline. I don't even think they have impulse power. Whatever you decide to do, they can't really do much about it. Okay, let's talk to Vrel. The Undine are a species that was first encountered by the crew of the USS Voyager. They cataloged them as species 8472. As the Klingon commander indicated, they are indeed capable of changing shape. Additionally, they possess telepathic abilities that aid them in infiltrating the cultures of other species. We're going to decline the fleet invite. So Ambassador Sokoth could be one of them. I'm afraid this is a conclusion that we cannot rule out, Captain. I could conduct a test to determine if the ambassador is who he claims to be. Unfortunately, that would violate his ambassadorial immunity. The Klingon vessel is awaiting your response, Captain. Okay, tactical. The Undine are physically superior to humans and consider anyone from our dimension to be an inferior life form. Their vessels are more than a match for the Borg. They represent a great threat to Starfleet. Where is Ambassador Sokoth now? The ambassador is still in his quarters. Sir, I recommend sending a security detail to detain the ambassador until we are certain of his identity. Sound precaution, agreed. And engineering. The Undine come from a dimension known as fluidic space. They use quantum singularities to move into ours. I'm afraid much of their technology still remains a mystery to us, but one thing is certain, it is not to be underestimated. So why use a Starfleet vessel? That I can't say, Captain, but as the Undine are virtually unknown in the Beta Quadrant, my guess is that they are aiming to conceal their presence here. And the Klingons? What the Klingons are saying could be true, Captain. If the Undine are in the Beta Quadrant, it might just be the Klingons sniffed them out before us. In this case, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The Klingon vessel is awaiting your response, Captain. Call the ambassador to the bridge and open a channel to the Klingon vessel. Let's settle this.
My patience is growing thin, Captain. If you lack the stomach to slay the beast aboard your vessel, any Klingon here would gladly do it for you. I'd hate for you to stain that pretty Starfleet uniform with Undine blood.
How did he know that I, just took some time specializing this uniform? Very generous, but unnecessary.
Then the beast is slain? Makar! Very good. Perhaps you've the heart of a warrior after all. Let me look upon our enemy, and tonight we will dine together as warriors and drink to the honored dead.
I present Ambassador Sokoth.
Captain, I take my meditations very seriously. Why have I been summoned to the bridge?
Accused, meet your accuser.
Alive? You're a fool, Captain. Strike now before it's too late.
Not without proof, Kataki.
You want
Katak?
Then lower your shields and allow me to beam over. Once the Undine's blood coats my blade, you'll see it for what it truly is. A grint hound in Tark's clothing.
Ambassador, allow me to explain.
There's no need, Captain. The situation is not difficult to unravel. My concern lies in the logic of you entertaining this Klingon's meritless claim.
Meritless, but not unreasonable.
A most illogical conclusion. Allow us to examine the facts, Captain. You have a crippled Klingon vessel, whose captain has made unsubstantiated claims that I am an Undine, a species that is known to both the Federation and the Klingon Empire as a considerable threat.
Thus, a reasonable consideration. Also, the Vulcans are really suspicious of you and think your behavior is really weird.
Potentially, but only if a great many other factors were to be true. Is it not much more likely that the Klingons have, in the face of defeat, instead sought to exploit Starfleet's desire for peaceful resolutions to conflict in order to repair their vessel and renew their assault?
What's the status of the Klingon vessel? Weapons inoperable. Warp drive is still offline. Wait, I'm detecting an energy surge. They're engaging their cloaking device.
A true warrior teach you this lesson personally before the Undine does. We may not be able to best your vessel, but a Klingon knows many roads to victory. The beast may have evaded my vengeance for now, but I can still ruin its plans here at Pajem.
Fire. I've lost them on sensors, Captain. They're gone. Scan the area. Captain, I'm detecting energy signatures on Pajem's surface. They're in the vicinity of the monastery. They appear to be transporter signals. Life signs indicate they're Klingon. I'm taking away team down. Captain, shall I accompany you? No, it's too dangerous.
A wise precaution. Though I admit I am eager to see my people safe, I will await word until the monastery is secured. And Captain, let not my journey here be for naught.
Away team to transporter room 1. I've lost them on some... Oh, she already said that. Game is a little aged, a little buggy.
A wise precaution.
Yeah, okay. Let's beam down. So we're bringing basically the entire senior officer crew. Captain, we need to secure the area and then make our way towards the monastery, which is located at the top of the hill. I'm reading multiple Klingon patrols between us and the main building, sir. Recommend we proceed with caution. Okay, let's also do this and put our heal up here. Oh. And let's move these around. Okay. 1 Klingon down. We do have a health bar and personal shields. As does the enemy. Okay, it looks like we have a little loot box up here. And another box. Okay. Looks like those Vulcans should be fine. It's weird that they're just standing there and they aren't like fleeing or something. It's a bird of prey, so I can't imagine that the crew is like super extensive. Oh. If we get a flanking position, we should keep it because there is flanking damage that can happen, which can be helpful. Uh-oh. The abbot is down. Incoming message. Sir, we're receiving an alert from Vulcan. Tapella says she must speak to you immediately. I'll patch her through to your tricorder.
I have terrible news. Vulcan security forces have discovered the body of Ambassador Soketh. They have determined that he was killed by a phaser blast at short range. His remains were discovered in a stasis chamber hidden in a cavern beneath the Ambassador's residence. The Ambassador on your ship, the one that I have been working for, is an imposter. You need to be very careful. This imposter was able to fool Soketh's closest associates for months. He is crafty and very patient. Now that he has been discovered, he will be dangerous.
Interesting. Captain, security teams have reached Ambassador Soketh's quarters, but he's gone. They're searching the ship, but... Sir, unauthorized use of the transporters detected. The Vulcan government is requesting that the imposter Soketh be detained and returned to Vulcan for questioning. Sir, whoever used the transporters erased the logs, but I have a feeling that the imposter is on the planet's surface. I recommend we locate him immediately. Yeah, where else would he beam to, Coles?
Such emotion on your face. I see now my deception has been exposed. Pity. Capturing the abbot so we could replace him as well would have been beneficial. But we are strong. We will prevail. You are weak, and the weak shall perish.
Guys, let's go. He's like doing like psi beams on me. Okay. And he's beamed away. Recommend we return to the Kepler and search for the Undine ship. We need to find the Undine and take it back to Starfleet. Yeah, let's do that. Captain, there's an Undine ship on an intercept course. Sir, the Kepler doesn't have the armaments to handle an Undine attack. Starfleet reports that it is sending ships to assist us, but they are about 60 seconds out. We have to hold out until the reinforcements get here, Captain. If we target their torpedoes, we might have a chance. Okay, so we're gonna set our systems power for like offensive. And we do have some bridge officer abilities here. Reinforcing our front shields. Oh. Yep, that hurt. Trying to expose the ship to like my broadside so that my rear and front phasers can attack it. And then let's do that so that it's now hitting the side of our shields that are a little bit stronger. Ooh. Okay, we've almost got it with the help of the Texas Challenger right at the Terev. That was definitely a lot easier than the first time I played it 10 years ago or so. I remember dying brutally on this fight a couple of times, I think. Scan the debris. Downloading the data now, Captain. Incoming message.
This is Captain LaForge of the USS Challenger. Glad to see we made it here in time to lend you a hand. Perhaps you'll return the favor someday. LaForge out.
Nice. Geordi is the captain of his very own Galaxy class. That's super awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and depart the system. And that was our first mission for Admiral Quinn. So we will collect our rewards.
Was an Undine? I'm afraid their infiltration of the Federation goes much deeper than we realized. Who knows what kind of havoc they could create?
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
And a little upgrade in level 3 now. This little menu will tell us kind of like what to expect as rewards for each level. We can also take a look at any commendations that we have. But that's it for now. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. I'll catch you for the next episode. Until then, bye. Well, actually, until then, have a good one. Bye.